Hello everyone and welcome back to Just Finish Coding. This is part 1 of the brand new Dodge the Block series where you'll be learning how to make a game which looks like what you're seeing on your screen right now. The blocks keep spawning from above and the goal of the player is to dodge these blocks for as long as he can. Now in addition to using the normal Pygame code, we'll be using sprites to make our interactions more efficient and also text files to store our high score. Now that's enough talk for this video. Let's get right into our code. So I want to make it clear before I proceed, and that is for this video and the following videos to make sense, you need to have a foundational understanding of Pygame and also sprites. So if you are not sure how to work with Pygame and you are new to this, I would recommend checking out this playlist first where I delve into the basics of Pygame and how you can take it from there. So I'll assume that you know Pygame if you're watching this video right here, and I'm going to start off by importing the two modules which we need. And the first module is obviously Pygame and the second module is called random. And we will use this later on, we won't use this right now, but I'm going to import it right away. So after you import Pygame, I'm going to do one additional thing, and that is I'm going to import Pygame as P. And what this will allow me to do is whenever I'm typing out a method from Pygame, and I don't have to type in pygame dot that method, I could just type in p dot the method instead. So it's just going to save me some time, which I'm going to use. Now I'm going to type in the first class, and that is the paddle class, which you probably know as the paddle. So I'm going to type it in class paddle. And here I'm going to type in the inheritance. And since our paddle is going to be a sprite, and if you're not sure what a sprite is, it's something that moves and collides with other sprites in a game. So I talk about this in my sprite series. If you've not watched it, please watch that first. But essentially, if you're playing, for example, like a Mario game, then the coins, the pipes, and the players, all of them would be sprites. So I'm going to inherit from the sprites module, and I'm going to type in p.sprite.sprite, and that should be the way you do it. And after this, I'm going to have the main def init method. So def init, and within this init method, the first thing we need to do is always type in super.init, because here you can see that we are using, we are inheriting from this module. So it's important to add this line of code. And now we can type in the parameters which we need, or the attributes. So I'll be having in an x parameter which I'll enter in. And within this, I'm going to initialize self.x is equal to x. I'll type in self.y is equal to, I'll just type in something for now. I'll type in maybe 300. Now I'm going to type in self.speed, which I'll be having as another parameter. So self.speed. And I'm going to set this to be 8 initially. And you can play around with this depending on the speed of your computer and how fast it actually goes through the frames, but this is what worked properly for me when I tried this out. And if you want to use this value, please go ahead and do so. So now we need the image which a sprite needs, and for the image I've kept a link in the description of this video, and that links to a Google Drive attachment where you can download all the files which we need. And the image is this file here called paddle.png. And if we want to load that, you can just type in self.image is equal to p.image.load, and you can just type in the string name right here. So just type in paddle.png, and that's the way you do it. And you probably know that this paddle is probably too scaled up, and you can see here that it's pretty humongous. So we also need to rescale this paddle, which I will do in a second. I'll just type in self.image here. But as of now, I'm just going to leave that and move on to the next line of code. I'll come back to that in a second. So now we need a rectangle for the image, and the rectangle is pretty easy to get. And you can also use circular collisions because the rectangle's only purpose is collisions, and we could either have a circle or a rectangle. But I'm going to be using a rectangle because this paddle is basically circular, and I'm going to use the rectangular collision for pretty much all our sprites. And I'm not even going to get into mass because since all our sprites are just rectangles except the block which is slightly curved on the edges, and that really doesn't matter, I think mask just makes no sense to use. The rendering speed would just decrease tremendously, and I don't really want that to happen. So I'll say self.rect is equal to, and you can get the rectangle from the image using the getRect command. So just type in self.image.get underscore rect, follow that up with a parentheses, and you should be getting your rect. And this is going to be our init command. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but it's going to work out. So now I'm going to copy and paste a few lines of code, and I really don't want to type this because they're pretty simple to explain. And here all I'm doing is I'm first initializing the Pygame methods, and this command is going to help us do that. And here I'm just declaring the screen width and the screen height. And I've used these as constants because they aren't going to change throughout the game, and that's why I've had all capital letters. So this is just going to create a window for the for our game, and we're just going to set the caption of the window to be dodge the blocks, and we're going to set up a clock for the frames. Basically our game's going to run at 60 frames per second, and you could bump that up if you want, but just so that you know, if you do bump it up, everything is going to run way faster. So just be a little bit careful when you're bumping up the frames, because it's going to be a pretty tricky decision to do. So now I'm going to complete this line of code which I left here, and I'm going to transform this image. Like I said, I'm going to scale it down, Pygame has this really useful feature where you could transform it into basically any width and height you want. And the surface I'll do first is obviously self.image, and that is what we want to scale down. And the width and height is going to be 130 for the width and 24 for the height. So that's going to be our width and height. Fairly straightforward, and the resolution is almost going to be the same. It's still going to be a bit different, but the paddle is going to look pretty decent. So after this, I'm going to continue here, and I'm going to start the main loop. So run is equal to true, and while run. So this is the beginning of the main loop. And I'm going to start this off obviously by ticking the clock, because if we don't do this, you'll start to get some weird bugs. So clock.tick, and I'm going to tick, 60 frames per second. Yep, that's what I said. And here I'm going to set up the event. So for event in p.event.get, and I'm a pretty slow typer, so please bear with me. And I'm first going to check obviously if we are closing the window. And if we are closing the window, then I want to make sure we exit the main loop. So if I can say event.type is equal, I put a triple equal there, anyway, is equal p.quit, then I will just exit the main loop. So run is equal to false. Fairly straightforward. And when we are out of the main loop, I will just terminate the program. So I will just say p.quit. And that's going to end the Pygame window, and our code's going to end as well. So our program is going to end. So that was it. So this is going to be our main event. And if you run this program after you save it, you shouldn't really see anything spectacular. A window is just going to open up and you can close it whenever you want. So fairly straightforward, like I mentioned. And now we can get into the more, complicated part of it. And when we're working with sprites, it's essential to know that you can't just directly create an object and work with it. You also need a sprite group, and that's what I'm going to create first. I'm going to say paddle group, and I'm going to call it paddle underscore group is equal to p.sprite dot group, and this is a group which will update and draw all of its sprites at the same time. Since we just have one sprite in this particular group, we will just be drawing that sprite, and you'll start to see the power of groups when we program our blocks, which we will not be doing in this video, but as of now, just follow me along. So now I'm going to say paddle is equal to an object of paddle, and this we just need to enter in the x coordinate of it, and the x coordinate I'm going to enter in is going to be width divided by 2, so that it's right in the center at the beginning. So that's going to be it. And here I'm going to type in win.fill, and I'm going to fill the window with a nice black color. So 0, 0, 0. That's the RGB code for black. And after this, I have to draw the paddle and also update it. So I'm just going to leave in a comment saying draw, because this is where we're going to draw all our sprites. And this is going to be paddle group paddle group dot draw, and we just need to type in the surface here, and that's the wind surface. So our paddle is going to draw on top of the wind surface, and when we are updating it, which we don't have a method yet, and I will do a little bit of that in this video. So when we're updating it, I will just say paddle group dot update. So that was pretty much all you need, and this will work if we have something in our update method which we do not. So I'm going to code a little bit of that right now. So I'm going to say def update, and if you do this correctly, you should see something popping up on your left hand side if you're using PyCharm, obviously. And if you click this, this will take you to the sprites module where you have this, and you are essentially overriding it so that you can use it later on. And within this update method, I'm going to get the mouse position or the X position in particular. So I'm going to say X, comma, and I'm just going to use underscore as the Y variable because I don't need it. And I'm going to say this is equal to p.mouse.getPos. And p.mouse.getPos returns the X and Y values in the form of a tuple. And if you want to retrieve the values from the tuple, you use the syntax this way. So this X is going to hold the X value of the mouse, and the underscore is going to hold the Y value of the mouse. And I didn't really want to use the underscore, which is why I just named it underscore. But anyway, now let's continue. So I'm just going to say self.rect.center is equal to, and it's important you spell it as TER and not TRE, because if you spell it as TRE, you'll get some syntax errors. And we'll just call this self.x, self.y. And not self.x, sorry, x comma self.y. And I'm just going to type in self.x here is equal to x, because it's just going to be easier if we have it this way. So just type as I'm doing, and you need to put these two things within curly brackets. So that's going to be the way we do it. And that's pretty much it. And if we update the screen in the end, which we've not done yet, just say pygame.display.update. You should be able to see your output. So I'm going to save my program, and then I'm going to run it. And when we do run it, okay, nothing really appeared, and that's kind of strange. So I will check my code once, and then I'll be right back. So I just went through my code, and the error was kind of stupid, and that was the fact that I didn't add the paddle to the sprite group. Like I mentioned, each sprite needs a group, and if you don't add the sprite to the group, obviously the group isn't going to do anything because there are no sprites in it. So if you want to add a sprite, it's fairly simple. Just say paddle group dot add, and just put in the sprite inside those two brackets. So I'll just say, oops, not paddle group, I'll just say paddle right there, and that is pretty much going to be it. Now you can save your program and then run, and when you do, you should see that you can move the paddle with your mouse pointer. And I'm going to end this video right here. In the next video, we'll start to work with limiting our paddle movement on the edges, and we'll also get into a little bit of our block code. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.